Welcome to the Prize Fighting Business. I'm your host, Daniel Casado, and today I'm joined by Austin Osmosis Jones. Austin, thanks for joining me.
Yep, appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And Austin, you've got a big fight coming up. You're the main event at Fury 69, taking place on Friday, September 23rd, where you'll face Evan Cutts, who's 14-5 as a pro. An experienced fighter just like yourself. How do you feel here about 2 to 3 weeks out from that fight?
Feeling great, man. The big goal for this fight camp has been just continue to be who I am, trust my athletic ability, and just keep honing on my skills, and also giving my teammates a good look because they also have fights coming up. So I think we're finding ways to grow that way more than anything. It's just piggybacking off each other and being there for each other as a team. So makes it easy to come to the gym every day. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're coming up as a veteran. I mean, almost at this point, 12-7 as a pro, but arguably still evolving as a martial artist, like you alluded to there. And a big part of it is your athleticism. You come from a big football background, even spent time at University of Nebraska playing football. How do you feel that has translated to MMA and helped your athleticism?
I think if anything, it's just reminds me to not forget where I came from. I truly believe football, just playing football for me at least, gives me a little bit of an edge because it's similar type things where you're in control, you're staying balanced, and you're basically knowing when to explode in those right moments and recovering and doing it repeatedly. Reminds me a lot of MMA, honestly, but obviously it has its own thing. But I would say from an athletic standpoint and being able to use that in my striking, even on the ground game, knowing when to explode and when to be in control, something I've always been kind of taught. So finally realizing use some of that ability to my game. So
absolutely. And I think it shows you're very explosive, like you said, both in your striking and your grappling, and it feeds well one into the other in your fights. So coming up, this fight against Evan Cutts, do you know anything about him? Have you watched film on him at all?
Yeah, man, he's tough. He's a super tough guy. And he's got experience. So obviously, like any fight, you got to bring your A game. But yeah, I think we both bring something to the table this fight. So we'll just see what happens and see. I think it's going to be an interesting fight for sure.
For sure. And you're always coming well prepared. You train with Factory X, a prominent gym in Colorado. So who are your primary coaches for this fight and your training partners?
Yeah, so primary is Mark Montoya, Randy Caruso, Rafa as well. But honestly, like I said, as before, we got great coaches here, best in the world, but also just having good teammates. That to me is like having a coach in itself, because we all have some strong fight IQ here, and it's like, hey man, keep your hands up. Hey man, this might be here for you based on your style. We've done a really good job of picking that up as a team, mainly because even when we don't have fights coming up, we hold each other accountable to stay in the gym because, you never know when the next opportunity is going to be. And the game is evolving so fast. And I think we're also, as a team, putting some things together that I think the world hasn't really seen yet. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys, you stay active as a gym, as individuals, but it's clear it's a very family and team-oriented approach at Factory X. So, and you mentioned that you've got teammates always getting ready as well. And I think on this card, you're actually going to be fighting with a few teammates as well. So do you enjoy that, fighting on the same card as teammates, or do you prefer to be on the card by yourself?
Actually, yeah, I do enjoy it a lot. It kind of reminds me of traveling to go, do a football game. We're all going to be chilling in the hotel and just kind of talking about the game and getting our strategy right and stuff like that. Honestly, I feel like I probably wouldn't even fight if I wasn't on some sort of team, because that's the best part about it. I think if you're just doing it by yourself, the training just gets kind of boring, and then you're in your head about stuff. I think having a team is where true strength lies. So
absolutely, yeah. Let's see. Have a lot of different looks too, especially at Factory X. You guys have a lot of people at the highest level, whether it's the UFC, Fury like this, or LFA. So lots of looks available for you.
Mm-hmm.
So fighting with your teammates on this card, what does training or fight camp look like when you've got to fight coming up, but also specifically when you're fighting with other people on the card? Are you guys all trying to peak at the same time, or are you getting like focused attention? What does training for this fight look like?
Yeah, I mean, we're all working with our coaches individually, but we're also, team practice Monday through Saturday, just really grinding it out. But we try not to put too much thought into things. Like, obviously, here's your opponent, this is their style, here's how we can attack this, or here's how we can approach this thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, don't think out there and just go do your thing. So that's been a big thing for us. Like, we do basically fight day on every Friday when we spar. So it's like learning how to just go in there, embrace the moment, and just really just accept, you're going into a fight, so fight. There's no time to think.
So for you, it's more about developing to be the best of you can be, as opposed to trying to develop some strategy that may or may not be well equipped to fight your opponent.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, it's skills are everywhere. And I think performing is a skill in itself. It's in the gym, it's easy to, do spinning wheel kicks and do cartwheels and all types of crazy moves. But are you ready to do that in a fight? And it's like just being able to calm those nerves and embrace the moment versus, thinking about the end result and the prize at the end. It's got to really focus on being present, I would say.
So that's how you feel that you're best able to handle that moment, handle that anxiety, for lack of a better word. It's more just trying to stay present in that moment.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, and whether you put in the work or not, you still have to fight on that day. And it's like, because sometimes you'll put in a ton of work and you think that's going to automatically win you the fight. It's like, no, like, wake up. Today's the day. So it's really just like making that decision on that day. So
yeah.
So.
What do you do on fight day to help you kind of be focused or be more present?
Honestly, a lot of times I'm just, trying to be lighthearted and actually take the headphones off. I don't want to be caught up in my head, just like jam the music out. I actually want to acknowledge the surroundings around me and just kind of take it all in, breathe in that air that I'm going to be fighting in. So
I love it. The Conor McGregor approach, embrace the moment.
Yeah, because I mean, your surroundings are just as important as the things that are happening to you internally, being able to ignore all the noise, so. And the noise isn't just, I mean, the noise in the outside of the crowd that's manageable, but like sometimes it's the noise in the locker room that can throw you off a little bit. So the crowd is something that's the gift right there. Right. But in the back, it's like, don't freak out back there, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's what a comfort with your coaches and teammates certainly benefits you there as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. And especially, one of our guys wins that first fight. It's gonna be a good day. We're just rolling at that point, So
yeah,
it's energy, So.
Oh, absolutely. And you paint the picture of very intense moments, which it is, going into a fight. So what do you do to kind of relax and release from that during camp, so you're not always so focused?
Oh yeah, it's also just remembering to be human. You can still hang out with friends, but you don't have to have a beer or do anything like that. You just still be around people and not lock yourself into this mode. I don't think you want to isolate yourself too much when you're fighting. It's just still be a human being, because you're still a human when you're fighting this, but you just got to open up the animal side of you on that day.
Yeah, and this is a main event fight, so it's a big fight for you on Fury. Do you do anything different knowing it's a main event versus just another fight, or do you tend to approach them all the same?
Yeah, it's just another fight. Obviously on that day you're gonna feel the nerves. You're gonna be, oh shit, this is the main event. But at the end of the day, you just got to go in there. It's still a fight. There's you, the other guy, and a referee. So as soon as they say go, just go. So.
Yeah. And weight cuts are big talk in the UFC and the other organizations as well. What does a normal weight cut look like for you?
Tons of hydration and just staying up on my proteins and just stay moving a little bit, like not too much, but we're not doing crazy cardio workouts, anything like that. It's just keeping the blood flow going, releasing a lot of tension, because especially when you're cutting weight, your muscles will get a little tense because you're in a different mode and your diet's different. But just being calm and actually putting a smile on your face, even when you got 3 pounds to go, find a way to find that happy place, picture yourself on a beach or something after you win. So as far as that goes, you know, when you think about the future of your fight, I think about how you're going to celebrate versus just like, I got to win this thing. You know, it's think about how you're going to feel when you're done. I think that's when you're not thinking too far ahead. You're just kind of visualizing good things.
Yeah. So tell me what you visualize eating after a big victory.
It's crazy though, like food. I think about it, but then like I never end up eating it. It's just like crazy. But I always think about like eating some pizza or like just having some drinks with the fellas and stuff like that. But after the fight, like your adrenaline still kind of you still having that adrenaline dump, and like your appetite is weird. Like you don't really get one, at least me. But the next day or two though, I go a little crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So coming into this fight again, 12-7 as a pro, main event fight, Fury Fighting Organization. So a big organization that can potentially be a good platform to get to even the next level. So what do you envision for the rest of the year? Where do you want this fight to take you?
I want this fight to take me to a title fight for Fury.
Cool.
I think it'd be awesome to win a regional belt. I think even a lot of guys that are in the UFC never have gotten to experience that. And I think that's just another memory that I can add to my career. And it's just another accomplishment versus trying to like, I got to get to the UFC. I got to get to the UFC, but become a champion before you get in there, you know? I think that gives you a lot of confidence going into it. So, and it's like the little things. We obviously want to make a lot of money doing this, but I think that would just be an amazing experience, you know? So.
Absolutely, confidence and experience in that moment for sure. So, what would you say your overall goals are as an MMA fighter?
I think if you're doing this to not become a world champion, I think you're crazy. So that's always been my mindset. I've had some setbacks in my career, but those only brought me this much further. And as long as I continue to do my job, I think it's going to happen. So that's it. You know. Put that goal out there and then strive towards it every day, and you'd be surprised what will happen. So
I love it. So would you say that your goals as a mixed martial artist or a martial artist are any different than they are as a fighter?
As a mixed martial artist, I think one of the big things is kind of goes along with my work outside of training, which I'm the manager at Factory X. So cool. I love seeing people when they first come in. The same kind of feelings I had, you know, nervous, don't know what to expect. Am I going to get my ass kicked the first day? All these, even just insecurities that you have when you come in, when you first start training. And then, you know, after they come in and talk to me after class, you can see their energy level change, and they feel good about themselves. They're full of questions. And I think that goes a long way, just as far as like my confidence and what I can bring to the MMA community. So, you know, if all else fails and I can't fight anymore one day, at least I know I've, you know, impacted a lot of people in that regard, because it's not all about fighting. It's also about just becoming a better individual, being able to defend yourself and your family. So I take a lot of pride in that job for that reason. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
So the fight is coming up Friday, September 23rd. It'll be on UFC Fight Pass. People can still buy tickets. So how can they buy tickets and give you credit?
Yep. If you go on the Fury website, go ahead and purchase the tickets. You'll have an option to choose a fighter, and my name will be on the list there for you. So please do.
And then how can people follow you and your career online?
Yep. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Osmosis Jones MMA. And then on Twitter, it's Cordero Jones 28.
Awesome. So give him a follow. Watch his career, watch him rise, and watch him fight. September 23rd, Fury FC 69. It's a Friday night. Buy your tickets and watch it on UFC Fight Pass. Austin,
yes,
best of skill to you, man, and thanks for joining.
Yep, anytime. And I'd just like to say thank you to all my coaches and all my teammates and family and friends. You're a big part of the reason I do this. So I love all you guys, and let's go get this W.
You.